Hello, hello. Having some technical difficulties this morning, so let me double check where I'm at. All right, I'm live on YouTube. And let me see about Facebook. All right, looks like I'm live. Say hello. Give me a thumbs up. If you're joining me, let me know that you're here, that you can see and hear me okay. Good morning, Christine. Thank you so much. All right, I had a little technical difficulty with things not connecting when I hit the live button this morning. I guess that's what happens when you don't go live 3 times a week for a month. Good morning, Debbie. Can you hear me okay? I adjusted my volume a little bit. All right, so we'll get started. I think we're all good now. So welcome to Make It Monday Live with Pamela, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. And it's Monday, July 21st, I believe, 2025. Good deal. All right, and this is Make It Monday, where I will be creating two or one 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. So I feel kind of like I haven't gone live in forever. I know I'm pretty sure I just went live last Monday, but I haven't gone live but maybe 2 or 3 times this month due to the flooding in the Texas Hill Country. We lost my cousin Steve in the floods in Kerrville. He and his wife were on a camping trip in their RV and it got washed away. Marilyn survived. Steve did not. We just had his funeral in my hometown of San Angelo this past Friday to lay him to rest. So I appreciate and thank you for your prayers. Please continue to specifically pray for his wife and his 2 daughters that he left behind. And of course, all of those that have been affected by these horrific floods. So, we're going to transition today into something a little bit more joyful and fun. I'm using the Painterly Pears Suite. I don't know if I know where my catalog is right now. Yep, I really don't have any idea where it's at, or I would show you. I think my sister-in-law, or my cousin's husband. Are you talking to Christine? I have no idea, Debbie. So, I'll share the paper. Well, what I have of it. I've got my packet here with all the beautiful papers in it. I've cut a bunch of them up. I'll just grab uh some of these like this so you can kind of see. This paper is gorgeous. You may think pears, how would I scrapbook with pears? Well, I've done a couple of things already with it, and I did our Global Ink Collective designer team tutorial bundle project using this collection, and I did it for our visit to one of the wineries. I can't show that page to you, unfortunately, because that's part of the exclusive PDF, but you can check out my link tree and grab that PDF for $15. It's got 12 different projects in it using this collection of products. And or you can place a $50 order this month and you'll get that PDF for free. So for the month of July. All right, so here is, I think I've cut both the pieces of paper. So it kind of went, I don't know if I can, I don't think that's the same orientation, but it was a whole full sheet with a border around it. And I used part of it on my Mail It Monday card there. And the back side is that. And there's gorgeous paper with the background is that new secret C that we have. And then it's got the Darling Duckling. So it's got a couple of the new in colors. Here is, or are some samples from the catalog and the online store if you want to check that out. Just to give you an idea of what you can do with it. And then here I did have this printed out with details about the suite collection. Of course, you can purchase all the products individually, but there's also the option for the suite. So I'll be sharing more about those products as I work through this. Some more Secret C, and it's got some uh, petal pink in it. Look at that. I think this is the paper that I used on my um, Global Ink Collective project. And then this paper is really awesome because the dies in the bundle will cut all of these out. So the big pear, the small cluster, the leaves, and these petal pink flowers. So that's what I'm primarily going to be using today in my project are those dies. And then here's a pretty pattern as well. And I'm going to be using a lot of these in my project today because last week we had our first ever Stampin' Up designer series. Sorry, I'm playing with designer series paper. So, our first Stampin' Up virtual album retreat. It was amazing. Debbie came over and we have done 7 layouts so far. Let me get organized again with my paper so I don't have it just all over the place. And so, over the course of 3 days, we didn't get to meet Friday because I was at the funeral, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we were able to grab or finish up 7 layouts. One of the pages for the month of June, I just loved the sketch or the design of the page. So I am recreating that page somewhat using this collection of products. So I'm so excited. It's going to be so pretty, I think, and fun. So I've got everything pre-cut and ready to go, except for my journaling. And I may have to do that when I'm off the live, but I did have ChatGPT help me with some of that. So I am going to see if I can pull it up and maybe get it printed while we're chit-chatting. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up my journaling block template that I have and see if I can at least get some of this copy and pasted in here. And I've got it like really big. My font's like 18 and I don't need it that big, but we'll see. I'll kind of work on this throughout the um, live today. Ooh, there, I got it all fit on one. I am going to, I know y'all can't see what I'm doing, but layout more, gotta figure out, because my sections in my, I don't know. I'll look at that later. I may just have to do it differently. Okay, so Christine says, I'm tempted to get this collection. For years, I've been wanting to get rid of our pear tree because it hasn't produced any pears. Bummer. This year, the tree is covered. Hubby estimates in the hundreds. Oh my goodness. Debbie says, I put pictures on January and February and journaled. Yay! So excited for you. Okay, so I'm gonna put my journaling thing aside for a minute, maybe. It's going to, I do want, my title is going to be, I'm gonna pull in my uh, keyboard. It's gonna be called Savoring June because I have photos from the month of June. I don't even know what I did with that. Let's look and see. Um, And I think I want at least that, possibly. We'll see if I can, I don't know. It's not doing what I want it to. Sometimes I go and they have to update your programs and then you can't find anything, which can be very frustrating. So I'm going to do the title in the alphabet a la mode. I've got those cut already in here. And I think I need to. And for some reason, I'm not figuring out how to move my margins on my. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it right now. We will do it here in a little bit. Let's just make our pages. Okay, so I don't know if I'll be doing any splattering or coloring. I used those Stampin' Blends for my Mail It Monday card. And so I'm going to show y'all some of these techniques today that on the page. But here's my card. I didn't take, or I didn't share the photo of the inside of it, but lots of cool dimension on there. And this tag is from Retired Greetings of the Season. I love these tags, and so I pulled that out so that I could just use that on my card. So be sure to check the hop out. There is a hop between about 5 of the artisans. So you'll see a lot of cute, different um, projects. We don't all use the same thing, just what we're inspired to use every Monday. And so I also have here the ink pads that coordinate. Now the Calypso Coral is not part of the suite, and I don't think I have all the colors here, but I like it because it is kind of highlighted in some of the flowers, and you can even see in some of the designer series paper here. So I'm going to set that up here. Not a lot of stamping is going to go on today, I don't believe, but I used these stamps for my card. So you can kind of see right there, those cute little pears. And then I used quite a few of the dies this time. So I'll walk through and talk to you about that in a minute. Then in the suite also are the low profile sparkle dots in Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, and Secret Sea. I think I'll tuck these back here. And then this is the ribbon that comes in the suite. It's really neat because it's Mossy Meadow with some gold flecks on one side And then it's gold, it's more gold on the other side. So I'm going to use this side primarily. I don't have all of it cut. So I did prep a lot because there is a lot to this page. So we should be move along pretty smoothly. Good morning, Jennifer. Thank you for saying good morning. This weaved ribbon, petal pink, braided trim goes along with the other online exclusive that went live July 1st. I can't remember what it's called, if someone remembers, but it's with florals and stuff. I do have the paper. I've played around with a little bit. All right, so I have all my pieces in here. I've got my photos ready. I just don't have my journaling ready. So I'll see if I can squeeze that in as we work. So let me move that out of the way, and I think I'm pretty straight. I had to put my whole workspace back together because I rearranged for Debbie and I to work last week. All right. So I have a little, if you ever have a little bad edge or something, figure out where, if you're able to cover it in your project and put it up in that corner. So I know I'm going to have paper up in this corner. So that will cover that. I think I have the same thing going on up here. It's a little messed up, a little worn. So I'm going to put it over up in that corner as well because I will have paper there. Let me put some things on here so that the camera can see good. All right, I'm a little chilly, so give me 1 second. I think I'm just going to turn my fan off that I have blowing on me because I think the air is down cooler than it's supposed to be, the air conditioner. So, how was everybody's weekend? Like I had mentioned earlier, Debbie and I got together Saturday, and then yesterday we did church. I picked up Waterburger so I could go drop some off to Bevyn because she was at work and asked me to do that. Came home and then I was wiped out. I guess from virtual album retreat, traveling all day Friday, and so we laid around till about 3 and dozed off a little bit. We're watching, I think, a sermon or something Jeff had on the TV, but I mean, I was exhausted, so I took a little afternoon Sunday nap. And then we got up and, oh, I worked on prepping for today, making my mail it Monday card. So it was a nice, relaxing weekend, especially for Sunday. And I didn't have to cook too because I didn't realize how many leftovers we had in the fridge. So we had pizza last night, Debbie, because you left that pizza here. Totally forgot that we had that. All right, so here are my paper strips. Now, what I loved so much about this um, sketch, this page from the album retreat, is that it used 1.5 by 6 inch pieces. So you can see all the different patterns that I have in here. And I'm going to use them all on my page. I did pull in some Secret C cardstock, but aside from that, it's all designer series paper. I have it in the order I'm going to put it on here, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and start adhering it. It's kind of a grid strip pattern, and it was just so clever. It's probably going to be one of my, I'll probably use it more than normal. So we start over here. Again, these are 1.5 by 6 inch pieces. And I played around with the patterns to figure out how I wanted them to be on the page. And so you can see that's the, well, no, that's different actually. This piece came from that border piece. I just cut down the side of one of them. And then I grabbed this mossy meadow. So you have like a 3 by 12 strip going here, or I don't know if you call it a strip, grid. So it's kind of going to be divided into 4 grids, 3 by 12, 3 by 12, 3 by 12, 3 by 12 is what it ends up being. And see, then you can put your photo up here. So I know this one's going to go there. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to work our way across, I think, this time. And I've got some room up here for doing some journaling. I think that's where I want a little bit of journaling. And you can also put the journaling like to the side or maybe below, but I have something that I want to put on top of these designer series paper and then this one's going to go up here. So the album retreat page used like faux pockets, and I decided I didn't want to copy it exactly like that. So if you're using 1.5 inch strips, by the time you get into the middle, you'll be right at the 6 inch mark. And then another photo, I think I have my photos here, how I like them to. All right, so I'm using photos throughout the month of June. So this was a photo, I think from June 1st, when Jeff and I went on a Saturday date. We went to Kerrville to have lunch. And then on the way back, we ended up at that winery. And I've already scrapbooked about the winery. Now I can't even remember. I think that was the photo or the layout that I can't share with you, but I scrapbooked some more, but I don't remember. I'm looking real quick. Yeah, I don't remember what I scrapbooked for or with exactly. I have to go back and look at my Instagram since it's been like a month. I haven't done a whole lot. Um, so let's go with this one next. So the patterns that we're using on this page will be repeated over here, just in different places. So we want to look at this. I think this is the correct format. I'm going to go down here right at the 6, and I might overlap that photo just a smidge. So you've got a variety of 3 by 4 and 3 by 3 photos in here. And in the album retreat, they actually did some flip flaps on a couple of 3 by 3s. I decided I wouldn't do that today. I'm just going to use, and look, there's our pumpkin. This is about, I think even this photo, he has been going out tomcatting around and has gotten his butt whooped, I guess, by some other cats. And he's been pretty much injured for like 2 months now. He just keeps going out and getting re-injured. And he'll stay home for a few days and then he goes back out and gets his butt whooped again. And I don't know. I don't know how much longer he's going to last, unfortunately. I love my pumpkin, but he's not very smart. So, all right, so let's see. I'm going to put that down lightly. Now, this is where I want to bring in the Secret Sea cardstock just to add a little bit of different texture in here. So you want it right up at the 3. So that's where it's going to cover up that little messed up corner. I might have a little bit of a gap right there. That's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. I think my photo is cut a little short on this side. All right. And then I have another photo. So I've got the Weiner or our date, Saturday date. And then I cooked some meatloaf with some of the beef that his parents bought from um, a ranch over in Luling, Texas. It's where my sister-in-law works. And then I think the squash was from Jeff's work garden. And then here I am with the Creativity Now sample. I wanted to include that. So I'm just including a variety of things, highlights, I guess, highlights from the month of June. So just something fun and different, not a specific event, but I did ask ChatGPT to um, do up some journaling for each photo. So, like, I can put a little bit here, down here, up here, talking about each specific photo. All right, now we're going to go down here now. And you can see sometimes I'm flipping the patterns so it didn't look just like this one over here. I'm using the same patterns, but just opposite. And I think I liked how the florals ended up in here. I didn't use all the florals because it just got a little too much. These will all be covered up a little bit too with I'm going to make tags with the tags that I'm going to make instead of the faux pockets that we made on our June album retreat page. All right, and then this is a photo of my mom, me, and Bevyn heading out on our trip to Grapevine. That was in the first part of June. And I didn't try to put these in any order either. I wasn't too worried about specific dates. But if you wanted to add more photos, you could use flip flaps, but really only on the pictures in the middle because on the edges it makes it hard to flip flap or to go into your album or cut your page protector. You could do it over here if you used a side flip flap, possibly. Same thing over here. You could do that, but all right, so this one's going to go up here. This is the same pattern there. I think this one I did decide to go do it the same. Just see how easy it goes together. 3x3 photos, or 3x3, 3x4. So you'll have the 3x3 across this way, which equals the designer series paper. And you'll want to decide, like on your pattern here, I liked the way it went. It has the line going up and then out. So I made sure I cut them so that they both looked like that. Let's see here. There we go. This one looks like it's a smidge longer, but that's how you can cover up like use the photos to block it in there and cover anything that's not quite the same length. And this is Bevyn on our road trip, stitching patches to her new college backpack. She spent the whole trip over to my mom's house, from my mom's to up to Dallas, Fort Worth area, and then coming home, getting all these patches on her backpack. So I thought that was kind of cool that she kept herself busy like that. So she's not only very artistic, she's also crafty. So maybe she'll get into scrapbooking someday. All right, and then this one I'm going to keep with this. So you can see how I reversed these two as well. And you'll notice I'll show you, I'll tell you once I'm done getting all these on here. I'm just lining it up at the bottom there. Make sure your pears are all going the right way. And then I snagged a picture of Jeff mowing the lawn. So that was just another everyday thing we have to do in June as the weather gets warmer. And we have gotten, of course, tons of rain this month or this summer. I think it was raining in June some too. All right, I'm trying to kind of overlap. I think this photo was cut as a smidge small as well. And then I'm gonna do where it's opposite over here too, I think. Yeah. All right, I think that'll work. Let's see, like I might cut that later, like just the very edge of this. And then I have one last photo. I think, oh no, I'm gonna leave it like it is. I don't remember. I think one of these might have supposed to have been a 3x4, but it doesn't really matter too much. All right, and then I just maybe push it up just a smidge to meet up there. So this is Jeff. I don't know if you can tell, but he's got like three cats. The male cats just draw to him, just jump all over him once he sits down in his recliner. So it's been kind of funny. So I got a picture one evening of that. I hope I left my copies of the layouts for retreat. I was looking for them. You did. I've got them stashed away with mine. All right, so there is our layout. There's a lot going on, but we're going to bring it all together by creating some tags. So again, I am using the tag from the retired greetings of the season. So I love all these tags, but I especially love that one right there. So I have cut all my tags, and I've actually already made four of them, but I wanted to show you how I put them together. So I cut this tag out of white willow, and then I cut it again. I just did a 1¼ inch strip of the Calypso coral cardstock, and then just did the bottom portion. So let's bring in so I can kind of protect my surface area here. I don't think I'm doing any stamping. Now I'm going to use my liquid glue over here. Whoops, sticking to me. So I'm just going to glue this onto here. So I'm going to show you how I build up one of these. And then I have all the rest already ready because I knew it would take forever if I didn't. All right, so there's this one. And then I'm going to take some tear and tape. Let me find my end. I'm going to put it right above that Calypso coral. And my scissors, I'm organized. I actually have everything where it's supposed to be since I had to put my place together. I'm going to cut it off right there. It doesn't mean it'll all be where it's supposed to be when we're done here. There we go. All right, so I've got that right there. Now I need my ribbon, my green Mossy Meadow ribbon. I'm going to do it with this side up with more of the gold. So I just need to peel that off and then just lay it down there. I'm going to overlap it a little bit so I can trim it down. Get it straight over top of that tear and tape. Scissors again. And then I'm just going to trim off right there. Press it down real good. Okay. So now you have that cute little tag. And then we need, let's see, I don't remember if I had the pieces. There's that. I thought yes. Okay, so I took the braided ribbon, about a piece like that. It is like 4 inches long, and I unbraided it, and it just happened to have 5 total braids pieces in there. I think this is from this one. At least I think that was right. Pretty sure it had this right number that I needed. I might be wrong. Maybe it was 4. Anyway, so that's, whoops, those pieces. So I kind of kept them together, and then I had done this previously. I had this piece, which is about 9 inches. So you can take these and do individual pieces too. So just a longer piece, you just unbraid it and then pull out all the pieces. So there's lots of different ways you can use this braided ribbon. So I'm going to start with putting this through here halfway. Just line up your ends best as possible. And then I'm going to take my self-closing, once you have them how you want them, just close them like that, kind of hold that down. And then this can go through here. And we're going to tie a bow to secure it right there. I'm going to knot it so that it's nice and secure. And then I can tie my bow. Just a little mini bow like that. And then just adjust it. Let that go. If you want to trim off a little bit of this, you can. I'll just leave it like that for the moment. All right, so there's our tag. Now I have that on. So I have a total of 5 tags that I have ready. And we will adhere these. Not over all of them. I don't remember. Let me look and see. I think this was here, and then I think one was here. Our title, and we're going to come down to kind of take up that space, and it's going to help tone down some of all this pattern paper in a couple of areas. All right, so I want to put all of these down using dimensionals. So let me grab some big dimensionals. I just got to find them. So give me 1 second. I have a bunch from, is that, yeah. Oh, so I have quite a few of these because I've gotten like several packs each time. They've sent me 2 big boxes of supplies for being an artisan. So I am able to stay stocked up on these pretty well, which has been nice. All right, so let's just put these down. And then we're going to decorate them with primarily die cuts. I'm just going to go through and put these on all of these. So I know Debbie participated in the album retreat. Who else participated in the album retreat? So we'll see over the course of the next few months how many of the pages I recreate because I just love the designs. Oh, and even some of the techniques. I can't wait to share some of the techniques that I learned. That's one of the primary reasons I love album retreat so much. And if you didn't order your kit, I believe they're still available. So it's not too late. You can still order your album retreat kit, and then they'll give you access to the Facebook group and all the videos and the instructions, and you can create them on your own time schedule. Look and see. More over here. It's well worth the investment, I promise you. You will have a full, beautiful album. I've already shared two other pages that I've gotten photos and journaling on. I'm gonna do it like that. All right, we'll get those secured down here in a second. I was just gonna look real quick. What's new? Open retreat. So you can just go to my website and look under the menu for album retreat kit, I think. I was just gonna double check. It's still available, so I would highly encourage you to get it. And there are a bajillion stamps in the stamp sets that is exclusive to the album retreat. So I love that. All right, so let's get these down. And I think I have just about everything cut, so it's just assembling now and decorating up our fun little tags. I'm going to put them down fairly far so that my ribbon doesn't cover up my photos too much or stick out of the page protectors when I put them in an album at some point. I'll probably do them all pretty close to the same. Thank you, Christine. And let's see here. I can hear Ladybug in there dreaming, whimpering. All right. I may have to get up and go turn our air down. Bevyn's been sneaking in or from her room before she goes to bed and cranking the air down because we was like, okay, we'll just suck it up for the next month. She'll be gone. She'll be leaving August 16th to go move into her dorm. That's hard to believe. All right, I think I got them straight. It's hard to tell with the camera. Okay, so there's all I wanted to bring in just a little bit more color, so that's why I chose the Calypso Coral. And then let's grab this. We'll do these at the end. So my title is going to go, I think, right up in here. So I can find. So I'm just doing June. Just Let's see here. Where is my? I know I cut an E, but where's it at? I can't see it. There it is. So it's just kind of a coincidence, or it just happens to be the June layout from the album retreat. And then I decided to use the same month, but do for my album retreat, I'm doing photos of Jeff and I for our 10 years. It'll be 10 years we've been together. We met October 7th, 2015. So October will be 10 years. I'm so excited. So I decided to do my album retreat that way, using documenting each month. So I did January and I used pictures of us in January throughout the years. This one is just the month of June 2025. So I'm going to just center this right in here. I'm not sure where I'll put, I may put my journaling like right here, kind of overlapping the photo a little bit, and this to talk about pumpkin. But these areas are really kind of for the journaling. I guess you could put the journaling kind of wherever you want on the page. Kind of change it up. We'll see what I end up doing, but all right, straight. And I'm going to print out the word savoring, and put it right up in here. Savoring June. So I thought that was sweet to go with the pear theme. And it's kind of a rich designer series paper. All right, there's June. And I'm going to see real quick, 1 second, please. I had some white cardstock somewhere, but I don't know what I did with it. So I might grab some more white willow. While I'm putting this together, I'm going to see if I can also try to print out at least my title. I don't know if I can get my journaling the way I want it yet. A 4x6 piece that I can put in my photo tray in my printer. That's how I do my journaling. And I think I'm going to do strips of journaling, not just like there's several ways you could do it. You could use like what I've done in the past. I'm not sure where it's even at. If I can get it. Those clear shipping label sheets I've talked about before and I've used before. You could print your journaling out on this and then lay it down in these areas. We just have to make sure that they get sized to like 2 3/4 inch width so they fit in here. But all right, so let's got everything down. Now let's start building up our pieces. So I had already pre-cut most of this stuff for some of my other projects. I think only had, no, I had two, I guess. Maybe. I'm not sure where I wanted to put all of these. That one maybe down here, that up there. I have one that is like half cut off I wanted to use and show you how. So this was on the edge of the paper. I went ahead and cut it out with, all of these were cut out with the dies from that designer series paper, but I can take the flowers that are in there and position them so that they're over top of there. So actually I might do that up here. So then that's a little bit different. So there's your triangle of the double pairs. And then we've just got the two big pairs here. I'm just going to layer these on where they're going to go, and then we'll position them. So I think I had all these mostly pre-cut. Yeah, I think I had all those pre-cut. Let me see if I can. I'm going to do the secret C on that secret C area. Bring in the same, kind of the same colors in each cluster tag. I think this one's going to go over here. This one's over here. I think that's what I want to do. I don't think I want to bring in, yeah, that's just how I have them cut. All right, I only did one of these, so I'm probably not going to use those. I didn't cut any extra. I do need a pear topper, like the leaves. So those will go there. Then I had these, I don't know, I might write on these. I don't want to stamp necessarily. That one can go there. I think this one can maybe go up here. I'm not sure yet. Maybe that there. And I might just, I don't like, I won't be able to like write, or I could even do maybe a little bitty strip of white cardstock to put maybe a date or something. I haven't fully decided on that yet. And then these are going to go with the little pears, was my plan. Hide them in there somewhere. And I had a few these. These are light Darling Duckling. That's dark. Let me put it down there. So have something kind of similar. I'll move the things around so that they'll work. And then I might do like one blue flower, or secret C is really what it is. We'll see how I'm going to put these on here. I'm not sure yet. And I might put one over here. I might need, hey lady. I might can put, if these are kind of similar, but see they're different colors, I could maybe put this up in here since I just have the one. Okay, so that's kind of what I've got going on. Let me let lady out. And I'm gonna pull up as well. I know y'all can't see it, but let me see if I can at least get the savoring printed out. So again, my journaling is too long right now. I've got to figure out, I may have to put it in a text box. Okay, I'm going to do that one. We'll see. Okay, while that's printing, let's start building up our clusters. So like I know I want, I think some of these, I don't know if it's gonna, let me see here. I'll turn this one out, going out this way. And I'm just gonna put a little bit, you could use some liquid glue if you wanted to. you want to put it up high enough to kind of come off the tag, can totally do that. I think I'm gonna figure out where I want these. I think I'll just do something like that. I don't know that I want to pop any of this up anymore, so I think I'm just going to layer onto. So see how this is cut off as well? Then you want to be able to hide that. I don't know, maybe I will pop those up. So let me pull this up so I can see. I think I'll do that. So these flowers are just kind of grounding the. And I don't even know if I'll use these or not. I haven't decided yet. All right, so let me get more. I guess I will add some. It'll look prettier that way. Just turn on how you think it might look the best. You can do them high, low, whatever. And there's one little extra flower. And let it touch that leaf right there. Okay. And then we also have some of our dots that we can add as well when we're done here. Okay, so let's just keep going around the page and taking care of our clusters. You want to be careful if you're doing the adhesive like this, so you don't accidentally tear off a leaf. Just hold it down good. All right, and this one, I'm going to kind of make it stay all on the tag right there. We don't have a lot going on here, so I'll just put it right down the center, I think. I think that'll be plenty. So if you did album retreat, you saw Karen goes crazy with her dimensionals. I'm gonna put, I think that, I'm gonna grab my little ones and just do a little one on this leaf and the opposite leaf. All right, can you think of anything that, I mean, you could do with this, the layout of the design? I mean, birthday, can get lots of great photos for a birthday, for Christmas. I think I'm going to take these out. I'm not sure I'm going to use these or not. I haven't, again, fully decided on that. I need my tweezers, try to get these up off of here. And I'll just put some, without trying to mess up my photo. I guess I could grab my, take your pick tool. I want the dark side showing. I'll let it kind of touch a leaf so we don't have floating flowers so much. And do that one up here, and then this secret sea and be hiding out from underneath here or something. Okay, that's pretty simple. This one's going to be very similar, just different colors. I just love all the different shades of the pears. And then I do this one up a little higher, just for something different to add some extra dimension and texture. Oops. All right, did anyone say what they did for the weekend? I know uh, Debbie was talking about her pages that she got done. So that's our goal, challenging each other to get pictures and journaling on our pages. I still have quite a few album retreat kits from when I was with Close to My Heart that are like half done. I need to schedule a time to work on those periodically so I can get them done. So I don't think I want blue in here. I think it's going to go over here somewhere. So I might need another flower. I'm going to put one. I'm going to take it. Yeah, I'll do it down here. So it's kind of hidden under there. So it's touching. And let me see if I have a few more. Oh, there they are. So these are my extra pieces. So I didn't have to cut out all these. Thank goodness. I do it like right under here. Okay. I may snip off that little piece right down here so you don't see it. There we go. All right, and then this one's going to have a little bit more to it because I've got this. I'm going to put it down first. I'm going to kind of blend in with not sure. Oh, I think a piece just kind of pulled up. 1 second. Gotta do a little surgery or something here. There we go. Maybe I'll do it more down here so it's not fighting with the leaves so much. Can't get it off my finger now. Weekend spent painting cabinets in a horse trailer. How was y'all's weather doing that? It's starting to get hot, and because of all the rain we've gotten, it's been super humid here. So you kind of want to make sure your leaves are going in different directions. This is the one where we're going to make it look like those are behind. So I have these flowers too. So I could actually go ahead and I think it'll be about right there. So you could maybe, let me see, stick it so that it stays together with dimensionals. That'll work. See, like no one would know. I'm gonna tilt them a little bit. I still have those flowers. Let me see. Probably want to put them down first. And these are the light side of some two-tone cardstock. I think I'll let them come out over here. Okay, that gives it a little different look. And I think I do want to pull out a couple more yellow flowers. So the dies, you can cut 5 of these flowers, I think. This one is going to float. Well, maybe you'll just go up here. There, because we still have like a triangle look here. And we just need this one. Yes, I don't think I'm going to do those little labels. So who has ever scrapbooked a page that wasn't just like one particular event? So have you done something like this before where you've scrapbooked a month's worth of photos on one page or one layout, or through the years, how I'm doing? That's kind of breaking some of those unspoken rules I think a lot of us have. So Christine says it's been hot and humid in Ohio. No, Jennifer says that. Sorry, Jennifer. Rain almost every day. Yeah, that's kind of how it was for us for a week or so after those terrible floods that we had. All right, so let's see. I'm going to do that next. We're almost done. I think I did get that thing printed out. Let me see where I want this. So I've got that one tilted in a little bit. I'm going to do this one tilted this way some. And is it, I'm doing pretty good on time, I think. Is it really only 11:14? And if y'all want to hang around, I might pull it down a little bit. Because I want my flowers, I think, to be over here. Figure out my journaling real quick. I'm just going to tuck this up in here. All right, I like that. And then where can I put this little blue one? Maybe down here. I could put that up there. All right, because I think we're almost done. Again, just need to finish up the title. Let's do a few, figure out what color we want. I guess I can use a variety of these. I could put a few or one or two in each cluster. So maybe let's go with green. There's a large one and small one. And I think I'll do another small one right up in here, up high. Okay. And then let's jump over here and maybe we could do, I think I'm gonna try the yellow. So the darling duckling. I don't know if I want a big one or a, yeah, I guess that's okay. And then this one, we'll do green again. They're kind of hard to get off of here. There we go. I'm gonna do it right here. Sometimes they're easy to figure out where to put, and other times it's like, oh, I'm not so sure. And then I guess we'll go with green again. Um, and we'll go with yellow. I don't want to deviate too much. And I think I'll sneak one right down in here somewhere. There we go. And let me grab my savoring title, part of my title. So at least that will be done. So I printed it like that. So I will just cut super close to it, like that. Trim it down tight. And I am just going to find my adhesive. Christine said it was sunny and hot last week. You're up in Canada, right? But it has cooled off a bit. So y'all are using Celsius. All right, I think I'll do it like that. Or I don't know, I kind of like it overlapping right here. All right, Savoring June. Somewhere in my journaling, I got to make sure I have the year 2025. So let's see here. Um, there's quite a bit. I may have to do it instead of journaling strips. I think I'm going to have to do it um, more in let me show you what I've got going on here real quick. So if you want to hang around, since we're a little ahead of schedule. I don't know if it's ahead of schedule, but I'm used to being, all right, let's see if I can go to, all right, I think y'all can see my journaling. So grateful for this sweet Saturday date with Jeff, slowing down together, laughing and soaking in so I really do. So see how it's too long? So I told ChatGPT details about each one of the photos. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photos. 6, 7. There may be something that it didn't. I'm not sure. We'll see. So I've got to figure out where I'm going to put my journaling. Um, but if I'm going to take this and let me I'm going to copy it. I'm going to take this out and go back down there. I'm going to add a text box and then maybe, let me look. so I can see all my stuff over here. I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding the, I think it's under arrange. That's why. So it shows size. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor, but look over on the right. And so my width can only be like 2.75. Height wise, I'll probably just do, because you can tell it's not, some are square, some are not. So I only want it to be maybe, I guess that's 2 inches. So that's about right, 1.75 for, so I think that changed it to what it needed to be. All right. So then I can take, so grateful for this. I can take each one of these, I'm copying and pasting it down into, maybe, into there. So it can go, trying to decide if, I think I'll be okay if, maybe, just 1 second. I might can make this the width, the length. Let's see how much I can get in here. Control copy, pasting the next part. Probably put Bevyn, one of my favorite cards from Stampin' Up. And I think they're all going to fit in these spaces just fine. That's probably all I can get on that one. Then let me, I'm gonna duplicate, I'm gonna copy it actually. And then we're gonna see if we can make another, nope, don't want that. I want it down here. Not sure, let me see. Let me delete these. Okay, so I have the same, well, something changed. I don't know what happened. Oh, there it is. So that's down there. And you'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so this text box, I can remove everything from, or I can keep it all. I'll keep all that there. I'll take this one at the bottom. So it's kind of will be in the right order. And then I'll take what's in the middle here, not in a text box. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it in to there. It changed the size of it though, so I need to go back over here and change my box to 2.75 to 1.75. And I may need to, yeah, make it a little bit longer so it all fits. Okay, now I can delete this middle portion and I've got everything that should fit when I go to print. So I will need two. I'm gonna go back to my screen. I haven't even read over these. Let me go back to, there we go. So I have this piece that's 8 by 6. I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces. I'm going to put it in my printer. Um, Actually, I really don't want to print them on here. So let's do it this way. I'll show you how I would do it using my full sheet shipping labels. So I'm going to use a brand new sheet. Well, this one might work. Let me see. I'm not sure how big this is. It's plenty big enough, so I want it to be 6. But this has to go into my printer. Then I'm going to do 2 4x6 pieces. And hopefully it'll print fine this way. Now I'm going to put these sheets in my printer instead of the cardstock. Let's see how this works. I've done one sheet at a time. I don't know that I've done 2, so we'll see if it'll feed them through there correctly. And you won't see this. I'm just going to go in and hit print. And it should print both those pieces. And since I had so much prepped ahead of time, figure I might as well show y'all how I do this. Okay, there's one. So one is like this. And that's going to fit in there just right. Okay, so my journaling's going to be just a little bit different. To see if I can. All right, it worked. So there are those 2. So let me move some things around so y'all can see. I'm going to go back. Okay. So I'm kind of eyeballing. So it'll hopefully be centered, but it's got to be 3 inches. So I think I'm going to try to make it the same width. So cut just a little bit off this side. And then I'm not too concerned with, I just want it to be pretty tight. Each one of these little pieces. So Jeff keeping the yard tidy. This one's going to go over here. And then this one, homemade meatloaf, can go right up under here. So then I have this piece that I can put back in my stash. Because sometimes I will adhere this to a sheet of cardstock and run it through my printer so that if it's the right size, I'm not wasting. So I have lots of little bits and pieces in here. I don't need that piece. That can go in the trash. All right, so we're going to get this page completely done. All right, so same thing. There was just a little sliver that I took off right there, maybe like 1/8 of an inch. Then flip it around this way and cut at 3. And then I'm going to cut tight to that one. And just each little paragraph. So grateful for this sweet Saturday date with Jeff. And I didn't do it. You could do it centered if you wanted to, instead of, I guess this was the left margin, left justified. I don't know if it's called justified. And this one is a little road trip to Grapevine with my mom and Bevyn. All right, so you can get a lot of just little everyday details. Jeff can't sit still without being smothered in fur and love. If it's not the cats, it's Ladybug, our dog. And Bevyn stitched patches. And So did I get journaling on each one? All right. One of my favorite cards. Yeah. I, and that's probably okay. I don't know that I'll do journaling for him specifically since I'm talking about cats over here. It's just an extra photo. So I think that's going to work out perfect. And so with this now, I may not be able to do this on camera because they're not. The back of these have this slit that goes through the back of the thing so you can peel it off good, but when you do them individually, it doesn't work too well. So I think I'm just going to set these here for now, and off camera, I will get them tacked down so then it'll look like I printed right on the page, but so y'all don't have to sit here and watch me get frustrated trying to get the backings off. So you could also do this on white cardstock if you wanted to, and you would just see the tip. Maybe put a strip of ribbon or do something else fun like that. So I'm going to leave it just like that and call it done. I'll share the finished pages with you. Remember that you could put some flip flaps on here if you wanted to add even more photos, but I there's a lot going on, but it's also really fun. I love kind of the zigzag of the designer series paper and then being able to get lots of designer series paper patterns on here is fun as well. So, all right. Thank y'all. Oh, and I just wanted to point out, yeah, if you do something like this, change your photos to black and white because there are going to be too many competing colors. If you do something throughout the whole month, it's just unless you have black and white pattern paper that you're doing, then you can bring all that color in. So it's kind of like reversing the concept. So, all right, thank y'all so much for joining me, chit-chatting back and forth. Love it. If you have any questions, let me know. Remember that this is the Painterly Pears Suite Collection. I think I used all the pieces of the collection in this, other than the stamps. I didn't do any stamping. I'm really liking the dies and how it cuts out the paper. So I haven't, the little bit of stamping I've done so far that I've played, I want to play with the more of the stamps because this was really fun to make. So this was the Mail It Monday card I made for the day. So see, I just did something similar, but this time I stamped on it. So you could do that instead of doing the die cuts. So thank you, everyone. Y'all have a great week. I'm not sure yet what my plans are for the rest of the week. I have several more deadlines coming up. Can't believe we're almost at the end of July already. What, we have 10 days. Yeah, 10 days of July. So I'm kind of stepping back just a little bit to not overwhelm myself so much since so much has been going on around here with the floods and funerals and things like that. So just taking it a little bit easier this July. So hope to see y'all soon. I'll keep y'all updated on what my plans are. Take care, everyone. God bless you all. Bye bye.